Alright guys, I am back again with a short video. As you can see, I already have my signature loaded, and I'll show you how to do a pro signature or a watermark in another video, but this is already loaded, and I kind of had to edit a little bit, so it's a little janky on the end, but that's okay. I just kind of want my name to show up, and I wanted you to be able to see this because I'm going to take off this layer which I added color to. So I'm just going to undo it because that, to see the non-background checkered background, is kind of confusing. So let's get started. So the background piece is actually the lips that I have done recently, and I'm just going to open up another file to show you how to add a digital edit to something that's already edited. I'm going to show you with the lips, but I really should use my Alice picture. We're going to do that on another one. That video is going to be kind of long if I do that one. So let's see. Naked people. Let me see. Man, I should have had this ready. Let me look. I have so many folders on my computer. It is utterly ridiculous. Okay, so this was for the body book in my Hit Records folder. So we should find the body book. We should really find it in Hit Record uploads. So let's see. Body book. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we're going to go to so these are all my reference pictures. It's okay to have a reference picture, but don't use exactly the same picture. Like, if you're going to upload something like this, make sure that it's not exactly that, because someone else took the time to take that picture and upload it. And if you're going to do that, you can draw it like I did and change it just a little bit, or you can do your own mouth and upload your own picture, because it's okay to get inspiration, but it's not okay to take somebody else's picture. So I just end up redrawing the mouth because I thought it was good, and I haven't seen a mouth like that drawn on the site, so, or at least for this particular project. So let's see, no edit, and this is the edit. So this is with my adjustment layers edit and the shadow. We're going to do it without the shadow or shading that I did do, and open it, if it will let me open it. Okay, so this is the lips and the mouth without it. I'm going to add on this little button a new layer, or if you want to, you can do a copy. You don't necessarily want to touch this background layer. You want to keep layers and keep everything organized as much as you can, because if you don't, or you're drawing on the wrong layer, which often happens to the best of us, your work can get a little bit confusing if you mess up on something and you want to take something out, or something just doesn't go and you want to take it off. Layers really help with that, so I'm just going to stay on this layer for this. I'm not going to name it yet. Right now I am using my, I don't think it's a Cintiq. I'm using my Wacom tablet. It's a part of their drawing series, but it's a smaller tablet. It's probably like 8 by 7 at the most. This tablet costs about $150 to $200, and that's one of their cheaper version tablets. There are a lot of different tablets out there that you can use, but this one is smaller. I'll probably have to show you a picture or send a link down below after this video so you can see what it actually looks like. I'm going to be investing in a Pro Studio desktop by Windows very soon, and I suggest you do the same or do something similar because it's going to eliminate having to get a separate tablet unless you're using it like I am with a laptop. Now, I clicked on my little color swatch for the foreground and the background. You know, foreground's first and foremost and background is to the back. That's the easiest way to remember it. So I'm going to take the little eyedropper. You don't necessarily have to choose a color from this area, but you can choose a color off the actual page. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take like a lighter highlight and it'll just eyedrop it for me to this. So then I'll just hit OK and go to my paintbrush, and that little arrow indicates my paintbrush, but the marking is awfully small. And make sure you're in your layer to draw on. It'll be highlighted. So you can mark it however you want to and it'll show up. But if you don't like the brush stroke for some reason, you can, let's go back. You can hit Control-Alt-Z too. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go back. I always just hit back or step back versus the undone short key, even though I should really use that. But you go to your brush category, and you can also make these, but that's another video too. Let's see. So this one, it's kind of bulky and it's kind of bright. This one almost have like a Gaussian blur on it. You can change that if you want to. That one's kind of smaller. It's similar to this one, but I don't necessarily want that. So we're gonna go with the one with the highlight because, and you could just hit this off too, because it's a little bit softer. And my brush isn't that big, but I can go ahead and mark on this layer if I want to. And it'll take the shape of my brush strokes. And depending on how you want to do it, honestly, it's just like drawing with traditional media, but it's on your actual picture. Now, if I don't like something, I can always take the eraser, and you can also change the size of it too. Let's see if I want to do that. Yeah, eraser. We don't want a chiseled eraser. Oh, and to make the size go up, you use your little, I really want to say quotation brackets, but you use the little brackets on the keyboard to make it go up or down. Now that short key I do use a lot because it's a bit easier for me. So I'll just eraser layer, and then I'll just erase where I want the eraser marks to be if I want it to have a more realistic appearance than to what I've drawn. If you want to, you can put a blur filter on it and put a Gaussian blur on it, and the Gaussian blur box will pop up and it'll tell you your radius to pixel ratio. Honestly, if you can't see it in this little screen, you can look and make sure it's in the preview mode to show up on your picture. So let's see, the bigger the radius, because it fans out from the middle of the picture out, then you will be able to blur it out like I just did right there, or just keep your marks intact but have a slight blur. We're not necessarily going to do that for this, but you can. That's just an easier way to do it. Now, if you want to do the blur, which is just a filter, that's fine, but my teacher recently told me that that's like a cop-out move. So the best bet would be to go to your brush and go to your brushes and figure out which brush that you want to use. And also you can click on the opacity here, and you can also click on the opacity here in the fill here and just toggle it back and forth. Let's see, because see that kind of brought down and up what you can see from what I put on the page, but you don't necessarily want to only use a filter, because in a way it is just a cop-out, you know. Doing it by hand really makes it an artistry, and you want it to be in that mode. You don't necessarily want to be like, oh well, I just threw this filter on top. I mean, a lot of things can be filtered, but it doesn't have to be. I feel like it's more work and effort put into you not having a filter. So if you're satisfied with how the shading looks for whatever picture you may be doing, then you can just go to edit and flatten image, and now these images will become one. I suggest that you save this as a PSD, a Photoshop document, and I particularly say Photoshop or something similar to Photoshop because these documents are compatible with a lot of programs, especially if they're like Photoshop. Just make sure that they're compatible. So I can take this picture and actually put it into Painter 2016 or 2017 and paint on top of it and then save it and take it back to Photoshop. However you want to do it. It's a little easier to have a Photoshop document because a lot of things are compatible with it. It's more of a universal program, so that's why I recommend that. So let's go back to the original layer, and we don't necessarily need the pink one, so we can throw this away. That was just to show you what I was doing. Okay, so I have my name highlighted, and what we're gonna do is just go back out a little bit, and it's in layer 0 because I clicked off of it and I want the name to go with it, but you don't necessarily have to click off of it. You can just lock it back again if you want to. That might have been on accident while that was unlocked, but this right here is the name, and then this right here is the picture. So what I did was I placed my name on top of the picture because I want people to know that I drew it, and it also kind of gives a stylized look. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can put it below, you can put it above, but I really want this on top of the picture. It just looks neat, and it also gives me almost like a watermark. I'll show you guys later in a different video how to actually do a watermark, but I wanted this to be something of my own creation to go on different pages or to even use as a background. That's just an example. Next video I'll do will be a time-lapse video of a drawing that I'm going to do, so I'm super excited for that. That's going to be in the comic book program, which I have already been looking at. Let's see if it pops up. So I've had it open for days. Open. This is it right here, but it won't open for me. Open! It's not responding. No! No! Okay, there it is. So this is the comic book program. You have your color wheel, you have your pens, your pencils, erasers. These symbols are super crazy huge. Yeah, next video is going to be a time-lapse video, and I'll probably do less talking so you guys can see how to actually do that. Man, they got video layers. That's pretty freaking cool. When you download the Clip Studio Paint Pro, which is just like the comic book program, it gives you a manual that you look up online when you first open it. So I'm so bad at that. I did not read it. I'm going to read through it, and I'm going to do a time-lapse video and come back. But let's get back to the picture. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and flatten this. I can't wait to draw that thing. Okay, we're going to flatten this. And then we're going to save as, because honestly it's a separate picture. It's not, and see, it's already telling me to save as a Photoshop PSD. You don't necessarily have to do that. Like, this is a new different picture, so we're going to save it as a JPEG. So now I have two separate files for this, a PSD one and it's a JPEG, but this is the final one with the signature on it. So we're going to hit save. You'll still have both copies. The Photoshop layer is there in case you want to get rid of something. So if I want to get rid of my name and just upload the picture, then I can. But this is my signature. That's what I'm going to go with. Any other time I'll just put DSL. But on this one I wanted to do that. So we are done here. That's just a small example of what you can do with shading to add a layer of realistic shading. It could be more realistic, but I just didn't want to go that route. I wanted it simple and easy. Alright, so I'll be back with another video. Hopefully it's gonna be more time lapses and I won't talk as much because this video is long. But I hope to see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe or like or follow on Instagram and Facebook and all that jazz. Okay. Thanks again.